Welcome back to the Home Studio Simplified channel. Today we're going to be doing a listen together of the December submissions for the monthly song contest that we have here on the channel all the time. Thank you all so much, by the way, for showing up already in the chat, for being lively. And thank you for the Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays wishes. Appreciate that. As you noticed, the coffee can was a little bit different this time around. Had a little bit of a cinematic B-roll thing going on there. So hopefully you thought that was kind of cool. That's something I did a long time back. But yeah, it was fun. Okay, so before we get into these topics today, I want to, if I can, like to, I'll try to see if I can get my, okay. Now let's see if I can get this working for you guys today, because we're going to try to have some giveaways. If we can't get it to work again, that's fine. We'll do it another way. No big deal. All right. So before we get into the December Song Contest submissions, if this is your first time here, you're wondering, what is this all about? Well, this channel exists to simplify the complexities of the home studio and to help you make professional sounding music in a less than professional space. Now, the motto around here is that we can dream alone, we can even create alone, but together we can achieve so much more. And that's what we try to do here every single week, is we try to achieve more than what we did the week before. So if you're new around here and you're wondering, what is the monthly song contest about? Well, every single month we gather up individuals who have been sort of brave enough, I guess, if you want to call it that, to submit a song to their song contest. There's a link provided in the description of this video if you'd like to know more about that. And that will just literally get you on the list there, and it'll give you all the other details as far as what you need to do in order to be eligible, what would be considered a submission that would be accepted. And then we go from there and we talk about, we do like a listen together like we're doing right now. And that's usually the last weekend of the month or the last week of the month. And then we will have a winner. The winner that is chosen will then get a free mix and master from yours truly. And usually we do those live here on the channel as well, so that everybody can benefit from those. So if that's something you'd be interested in, definitely consider being a part of that. I think you'll like it. You get a lot out of it. If nothing else, it's just fun. And it also sort of forces you to try and put out more. Because as I have said numerous times here on the channel, whenever you, sweet, we got the giveaway working. Good deal. So whenever you put out more out there, the more work that you create, the better that you get at it. It's just like anything else. You know, it's like riding a bike. The more that you put out there, the more that you're going to get out of it. So there has been a freebie giveaway started. All you have to do in order to enter this is to type in the chat !freebie to enter. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off with a giveaway right out of the gate. So if you're new to this, just follow DJ Big Red 81's lead here. You can even copy and paste what he's just put in the chat. All right. So before we move on, though, we got to give some shout outs to these individuals. These are the chart toppers. These are those individuals who have kept the lights on, so to speak, but they're helping to offset the cost of the bandwidth. They're helping to offset the cost of the giveaways that we're having, like the one we're having right now. They're also helping to offset the cost of the time that's invested. Now, that's probably one of the most valuable commodities in the world right now is time. Everyone feels like they just don't have enough of it. So these individuals that you see upon your screen right now are helping to offset that, and they're helping everyone in the community out by doing so. So thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate it. You'll see here up at the top, we got James Sheets, Chris Knowles, and Gordon Grinnell, who are our top givers. And down here at the bottom, you can see our top super chatters now. got this little scrolling doodad going on so we can give some shout outs to those individuals as well. And if you are unfamiliar what a super chat is, at the lower right hand corner of your chat, you'll see a small S, kind of looks like the one that's on your screen now. You can put that in there, and for any amount of money that you donate, that will then go into helping to fund the channel as well. And on top of that, you can light up the room like a disco ball, because that's a new feature we have around here. So without further ado, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, and then we'll get into it. Today's video is sponsored in part by the 𝗏𝗏 Academy. The 𝗏𝗏 Academy offers affordable courses from mentors, world-class engineers, Grammy winners, and multi-platinum selling producers. And with the resources available on the 𝗏𝗏 Academy, you can learn how to create radio-ready mixes from the comfort of your own home studio. Most of the courses also offer multi-tracks that you can then add to your portfolio and begin to build out your business. Follow the link in the description of this video to head on over to the 𝗏𝗏 Academy today and start learning the skills that are needed to take your hobby or your business to the next level. Awesome. All right. So we are currently trying to get the giveaway to work because yet again, something's happened. It's showing here on the screen that there was no one to choose from, but I know for a fact I've seen people doing that. So we may have to try that again. All right, let's try this one more time here. We got a 30-minute timer up on the screen now. Try to type in 𝗏𝗏 !freebie. Let's see if it works this time around. It might have just been because of the fact that I just got it going. All right, let's see if that's populating in there. No, it is not. Wow, that's amazing. Interesting. So it's showing that you guys are entering, but then it's not showing that it's actually showing up. Yeah, it says 0 users when I know for sure that you guys are entering. All right, let's try this one more time here. If it doesn't work, we have other methods in which we can do this. As a stinking Boeing B-17 bomber just went by my house, or whatever that was. I'm going to try to sign out, and then I'll log back in, see if that works. I don't know. This whole system worked once, thankfully, for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, and then it's never worked again since. So I don't know what's going on. All right, let's go in here, turn that bad boy on. Yeah, so the enter code has not changed. It should come up on your screen, whatever the enter code is. So I'm not sure why it's... Okay, so it's !freebie still. Let's see if it works. Hey, finally, we got people in there. All right, got it fixed finally. Whew. So we got 3 minutes for you all to enter into that. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start rearranging some songs here within Cakewalk by BandLab. And we will check out what it is that we're looking at here. Awesome. So it is telling you guys as well, if you have entered, it's telling you on the screen too that your entry has been accepted. So good deal. We're also going to try to make sure that we get to any questions you guys might have, because that's awesome. Wolfgang Production says, who cares about the freebie? Just being a part of this community is the freebie. Nice. Melted cheese has been entered. Good to see you guys in here. By the way, we got some newbies. So for everyone who is here today that is brand spanking new, you've never been to this stream before, this is for you. Okay, so DJ Big Red 81. Oh, yeah. He says, I thought that we had till the 27th to submit. Can we still submit now for this month song contest? So the reason why I had to bump it up is because there were some family things that had came up as far as rearranging of people that were going to be staying or coming over or whatever it might be. So there had to be some changes last minute that was made. Going forward, what I'm going to try to do is just go ahead and set this standard and say that at the beginning of the month is when the next month's song contest will start. And then the last week of the month is when it's due, the first day of the last week. That way it'll just go ahead and, so whatever that first day of the last week will be going forward, that will be the submission deadline. Now, if you still have a song that you'd like to submit, but you have not submitted it as of yet, then what you can do is just go ahead and submit it, and it will be rolled over into next year's January song contest. So it's not like you're missing out on anything really too much. You're just missing out on when it's going to be listened to. That should make things a little bit easier going forward. I know it's been kind of hit or miss, so we're going to try our best to change that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a winner. It looks like Tim Consley is our winner today. Good deal. All right. So, Tim, send me an email here shortly at homestudiosimplified@gmail.com, reminding me that you won something, and I will try to get that over to you. Awesome. We got the giveaway working again. We got coffee in hand. Good coffee too, by the way. We got some crispy new graphics here on the screens. And we got some awesome songs to listen to. So let's go ahead and start diving into some of these. Looks like the first one that we're going to be listening to. You know what? I'm showing 25 concurrent viewers, folks, and I'm only seeing 16 likes. So you need to drop kick that like button. You need to give that like button the people's elbow. You need to give that like button that whatever those kids are doing nowadays with the like buttons. I'm sure it's something much cooler than whatever I just said. All right, so we're going to make this a little bit bigger. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and rearrange these sort of in order of how that came in on the form. That way I can keep track of where I'm at on the form. So it looks like on the form, the first one was by Anna's Blinker, and the song was Just Fine. So let's find that one first. Just Fine. Where is it? Full and Free. It looks like Full and Free. We just did that one last month. So that might have been a repeat. Here it is. All right, so we're going to move this one up to the top. Next one is Plus Beats, I Can Feel You. Good deal. So how are you guys doing today? By way of the chat, let me know how y'all are doing. And by the way, now this is completely up to you. I'm not going to push this on you. But if you have any prayer requests, let me know by way of the chat as well if you have something you'd like for me to help you to pray about. I know during this time of the year, the holiday seasons especially, things can get rather hectic, and especially whenever you're dealing with, I've got friends and family that are dealing with lost loved ones during this holiday season, and it makes it very hard on individuals. And I'm always here, not only just to help you to make better music or to give my professional feedback on your music, but also I'm here to help you in any way that I possibly can. And I know in my personal life, one of the ways that has always helped me is to have someone that was praying for me when I needed it. Sometimes we can't even pray for ourselves because of the situation we might be in. So if you have any prayer requests, you know, you don't got to be shy, or if you'd like to email them to me, maybe it's something you don't want to put out there publicly, you can definitely do that as well. So it looks like I've got some here on my list, maybe that's not been input into, input into the Excel document. So if it's not on the Excel document, I'm going to assume that it's from last month's. I don't know. Coming in hot. By the way, thank you, Joshua Helms. I just thought of that because I put his song up here. He has recently reached out to me, and he's hired me to mix one of his songs and master one of his songs. So thank you so much for that. And that's one of the things that sort of something I didn't see happening from all of this was actually getting more clients. And it seems like it's actually, business has been picking up a little bit better in that area. So thank you all so much. And for those of you who have shared the channel and for shared the videos, thank you so much for that as well. You guys rock. Okay, next, I'm going to blow your mind. This one sounds cool. Okay, that one goes there. I'm going to go ahead and color that one just so I know where I stopped at here, because this is getting crazy. Invalid is the next song after that one. Let's see. Artist name is Quizzboy. Track off 𝗶𝗶𝗄 𝗑. That's weird. I see the name here, but I don't see the track. Yeah, some of these were definitely from the last song contest, so we're going to be removing those. Shadow of an object on the moon. Oh, that sounds cool. Here's the invalid track. Gotcha. Okay. And not invalid as in it's not valid. That's just the name of it. Okay, shadow of, let's see, some people. Shadow of an object on the moon. So it shows that it's in here as far as in the downloads, but I'm not seeing it in here. Oh, there it is. I must have missed it whenever I was. There we go. Okay, so the next one is on Christmas Day. And then Around the World in a Sleigh. I'm guessing, guys, that these are Christmas themed. So that sounds cool. And this one is Mark George's submission. You don't have it actually named Around the World in a Sleigh, but I'm assuming that it's this one because it's entitled Xmas. So it's got to be, right? And I'm trying to move the track instead of the track. Bear with me here, guys. Okay, that one should have went below this one. Okay. All right, and Spirit is next. Good deal. Last but not least, It Shows. Okay, so everything below this is, I'm going to assume, you know, actually some of this I really do remember from the last one. So I would definitely see, yeah, that's more manageable now. All right. So now we can start out fresh where we were at. So, all right, let's see if I missed any questions before we start diving into these. Don't want to miss anybody in the chat here. Just checking the chat real quick. You broke it. Okay. Okay. Let me start going through these here on the screen just to make sure that we're... Okay, so first question was, what's the giveaway? Whenever I do a freebie on here, it's usually one of my guides. So it might be my 15-step mixing process. It might be my EQ cheat sheet. It might be my mixing base. Usually it's like a PDF document, something simple that I can just mail you quickly. And then all you have to do is just email me, and then I will send it back to you in an email form. So slam it, slam that, smash the like button, he says. Doing great. Awesome to be here. Good. Had a 2-year liver checkup and all is great. Praise God. That's awesome. Thankful to join today. Good deal. I'm okay. Just came back from swimming pool. Okay to work the end of the year. A swimming pool? Man, it would be freezing over here where we're at. Can you just pray for my old English teacher being as a middle school math? Sure, not a problem. I just saw a video where in the master channel there is a mid-side EQ plugin by Brainworks. Do you know what mid-side EQ does? So I think 𝗵𝗲 already kind of touched on that. Let me just see what he said about it. Yeah, so basically mid-side just affects either the middle portion of the song, which is the center, or those things that have been panned into the center, predominantly mono instruments. And then also the sides affects only the left and right of the stereo field. So with almost any DAW, you have the ability to pan LCR, as they call it, or left, center, and right. And so by using a mid-side EQ or mid-side compression, you're able to just affect either the sides or the middle. So it's kind of like a way of boosting frequencies that you want to hear and leaving other frequencies alone. It can be good if you know what you're doing. However, if you don't know what you're doing, then that can be something also you can actually ruin a mix. So oh boy, all love and friendship intended. Awesome. Hey, home studio, I have a music question. Can music both have a fade out and a fade in? Yes. Moving on. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to start listening to some of these submissions together. The first one we have up is Annis. This is the song Just Fine. Let's see what he wrote here in the notes for this one. He says, my name is, let me make sure I get this right here. I thought I had this figured up before to where it was wrapped. Let me see if I can word wrap that. There we go. All right, so he says, my name is Annis, or Al-Khatib, or just Annis. I use mostly real instruments for this, like guitars, bass, and ukulele, and the rest is plugins. I choose no one in the question because the song is finished already. Choose no in the next question. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That took me a minute there. Sorry. Gotcha. So if his is chosen as the winner, what he's saying is that he does not want it to be aired publicly due to the fact that it's not finished as of yet. So, but kudos to you for putting it out there anyway when it's not finished yet. Guys, we're up to 25 likes. You are awesome. Nice.
Oh no. Here I am, walking down the street so full of life. I woke up just to get the best out of my day. No, nothing can stand in my way. Every day I'm searching for an answer. Where do I belong? Doesn't even matter. I still can't find it anywhere. The only reason that I try is for myself. I don't worry about nobody else. 'Cause at the end of the day, I know that I'll be just fine. No, nothing can stop me now. I'm not trying to fool around. Oh, 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 I'll be alright. Alright tonight. As the time passes by without me noticing, I might as well get up and go enjoy my night and party like it's 2K5. Now the DJ's hands are in the air and I'm dancing like there's nobody there. 'Cause I know I'll be just fine, believe me, I don't really care. The only reason I don't cry is 'cause I know I'll make it right back home. Yeah, I know I'll be there. Oh, 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 I'll be just fine. No, nothing can stop me now. Can't stop me. I'm not trying to fool around. Oh no. Oh, 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 I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Alright tonight.
Like it.
I know in a couple of years my life's gonna bring me down to tears, but I'm fine. Oh, oh, I'll be fine. And I'll never stop until I get there, one way or the other. 'Cause I know, I'll make it right where I wanna be. I want to be. Ooh, I'll be just fine. No, nothing can stop me now. Oh no. 'Cause I don't mind. Don't mind. Oh no. Oh, 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 I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. Just fine. Just fine. Just fine.
Nice.
I'll be just fine.
Beautiful. Beautiful, man. Don't really have much to say about that by way of feedback. And usually when I give feedback, it's because maybe there's something that I hear that could improve upon it. However, that one there, I mean, I realized now in the chat you said that the reason why you chose no is because it was already mixed and mastered. So I could definitely tell that it had the touch of a skilled engineer on it. So I also try to steer clear of saying anything about someone else's work because a lot of it is subjective. And so I don't want to be like, well, I would have done it this way. So excellent work, man. Really liked it. Great song. So next we got Plus Beats and I Can Feel You. Let's see what they had to say about this track. We got 35 concurrent viewers and we got 28 likes. Let's smash that like button, y'all. Drop kick it. Do stuff that them kids do, that like button nowadays. So he said about this song, I Can Feel You, it's produced and recorded by me. The vocals are by a singer from my hometown. Produced in Ableton Live 9. Used plugins from 𝗬𝗓𝗔, Arturia, Sound Toys, Waves, Focusrite, and more. Outboard gear used was a microphone. Okay, good deal. Let's give her a listen. Nice. Good work. So there are some things that I definitely heard on this that I think would take it to that next level. One of the things was that the vocals, I felt like they were really the star of the show there, and they just needed a little bit more help to get up front, more present, as well as I also felt as if a little bit of reverb would have helped to sell the fact that those were more professionally recorded. And just a little bit goes a long way, especially when it comes to reverb. So that's one thing that I probably would have done. Another thing is I noticed that the bass was great. I love the vibe of it. I love the feel of it. I do feel like, however, that it was almost overpowering at times, and maybe you wanted that kind of a vibe with it. If you did, that's fine too. I totally get it. But in my personal opinion, I probably would have maybe just done that a little bit differently, as far as sort of toned it back down a little bit. Not too much, but just enough to kind of not let it dominate the frequencies within the mix, if that makes sense. All right. We're going to move on around down and up and around down. Let's see, from the volume is stuttering sometimes, could be the connection. Oh yeah, I think that's from where I was switching screens, and it's automatically set to do this like fade out thing. I need to remember to keep it on one single screen whenever we're listening back. Thanks for reminding me of that, by the way, because otherwise I would have missed that, because I don't hear that on my end. So, all right, let's check out the next. This is Low East Summer Walk. Let's see here. Let's see here. No notes on this one. So, all right, let's check her out. like that outro. Nice. Nice. Very good job. So the only thing I probably would have said about this one, as far as some professional feedback, is it sounds like it just needs a little bit more, because of the nature of the song. It sounds like it needs a little bit more of a I'm sorry, I was reading this comment. Oh, no problem, buddy. It was good having you. Yeah, you have a Merry Christmas as well. Stay safe and creative, he says. But yeah, it just sounds like it needs a little bit more punch. It needs a little bit more edginess. I would love to, actually, what probably would help this is just right off the bat, just throw on here something like a TRS-1. Probably would actually bring that right up to speed. Just to demonstrate what I'm talking about, which, by the way, if you have not checked out any of the IK Multimedia plugins, there's a link in the description of this video where you can go and check that out. They're having some amazing, amazing deals right now. I'm talking like, yeah, amazing deals. So with that being said, there is a link in the description. Let me make sure I still have that link in there before I say this. Yeah, here it is. It's under Best Mixing and Mastering Plugins. And I'll just go ahead and post that in the chat as well. If you want to check out any of their plugins, you will not be let down. I guarantee it. But here's what it would sound like if you, excuse me. Here's what it would sound like if you put that edginess on there that I was talking about. So this is before. Take it here into the middle section. Now let's put that edginess on there. See how that already sort of boosted that up the way, or gave it that edginess, the more finished sound to it. I know it's subjective, but, and if I was to volume match that, this was before and after. That's one of those things where, you know, people ask me all the time, do you have to use paid for plugins? No, you could have done that with a free plugin as well. But if you can get to an end result much faster, that's really where I pay the money, is for getting results faster. That's my main reason why I might pick something. So speaking of picking, 𝗶𝗲 𝗧𝗵𝗲, sorry if I'm pronouncing that last name wrong, you just won. So send me an email at homestudiosimplified@gmail.com after this live stream is over, and I will get you your freebie. All right, let's see what else we got here. This next one is called A Sign of the Times. I see the little play on words here. Sign of the Times is a psychedelic chill track produced by Ken Lusk that is spacey, chill, a bit down tempo, produced using VPS Avenger and Bluetooth synthesizers. This is going to be right up Mark George's alley, so let's check this out. Nice. 8 minutes and 16 seconds later. However, it did keep me interested. I feel like that's one of those tracks that because of the nature of it, it probably could have played on for another 10, 20, 30 minutes. I could have left it playing in the background, doing some work, doing some studying, doing some soldering here in the studio, whatever it might be, and it would have been just fine. There are some things that I would definitely add, though, if I was going to be sitting down and listening to this forefront, not just in the background. And that would be that I would love to have heard some more variation in the beat of the drums, as well as the drums to be more up front. And I also realized, too, that maybe stylistically you wanted these drums to be pushed in the background a little more. But I think it would have been cool to have them fluctuate to cause some interest, some rhythm, some sort of abruptness to it at times would have been good. This was definitely a very psychedelic, chill track, so I understand that. One thing that I would make mention of, though, too, is I think someone that is probably here in the chat that's probably a master of this is Mark George. Whenever he comes to like creating a composition like this, he'll have areas where things just drop out completely and then come back in. Stuff like that will really help to engage the listener. Now, if you want this to be like a sleep track, a meditation track, it's perfect the way that it is. In fact, those drums being pushed farther into the background for meditation or for sleep music is actually more relaxing. So really, it's, yet again, like most of the things that we talk about here on the channel, it's subjective, but those are definitely some things that I would look at. So great job, though. I love the track. It sounds really good, too. The balance of it sounds really good. I don't feel like the bass was overpowering or anything. Yet again, the only thing I had was for those drums. All right, so Coming In Hot by Joshua Helms is up next. Let's see what he wrote about this. Let me make sure I'm on the right one here. Okay, so he says, I'm submitting this song as an unfinished work. It's kind of a rough draft, trying to find a melody and lyrics to play over the original guitar riff, which if anybody out there can sing rock vocals or come up with the lyrics, I'd even be willing to collaborate. I might be too heavy for praise and worship. It might be too heavy for praise and worship, but it would be a cool opener for maybe a youth event. Like most of my songs, it began with a cool riff and then evolved into more of a song. In this case, it was the descending bass lick that falls into the A chord. I recorded it first with a basic drum beat and then added the drums that it has now to see if what that would sound like. After filling in the low end with bass, it sounded like it would make a good song, so I kept it. The lead guitar originally was just experimenting to find a melody for vocals later, but now I'm sure that not sure if I might just keep it as an instrumental. Okay. He says, I experiment with panning in this recording. All the tracks are recorded mono, and then I duplicate each track and pan left and right. The beginning lead lick is panned far left, and the main guitar comes in panned left and right at about plus or minus 36. The main guitar is center for the verses, with a second guitar panned at plus or minus 48 left and right. The dueling guitar section is one guitar center and the other slightly right. Some sections are also one guitar center and the second far left or far right. The opening lick was unintentionally similar to Rush's Spirit of the Radio, but the cymbal crashes on the upbeat and the snare cymbal combos are a deliberate tribute to the great Neil Peart. I already like that. The guitar used as my first love, my 50th anniversary Fender Strat, played full open in the bridge pickup the whole way with the S1 switch on. The rhythm guitar track is a Marshall type simulation with a heavy gain and a little fuzz, and the lead is a Mesa simulation with a lots of gain, an overdose of flange with a little chorus. All right, very, very thorough and detailed explanation of this song. So let's give it a listen. Coming In Hot by Joshua Helms. I'll turn this up a little bit for you guys because it's not coming in hot. All right. There's definitely some things that I could give you on tips on this that would help to take it to that next level. One of the things right out of the gate that was sort of a red flag for me is whenever you said that you had duplicated mono tracks and paying them left and right. Now, I'm hoping that what you meant by that was that instead of like just straight up duplicating, that you meant that you actually recorded 2 takes and panned them left and right. Because if you didn't, you're not getting any gain from that whatsoever. In fact, you're going to introduce lots of issues with phase and phase cancellation. Now, if you had record them double tracked and then pan them left and right, you're going to actually get the true stereo width that you need from that. Now, with that being said, it's a bot, right? Yeah. With that being said, one of the things that I would definitely do to improve this is whenever you go to double track a guitar, whatever you plan on doing, like maybe say, maybe you could pan it to the left, and then you could like use your strat in the neck position. Pan the other one to the right. If you only have one guitar, use your strat, but now use it in the bridge position. You just want to change up the completely different sonic structure for each one so that whenever you do actually pan them, you gain stereo width. You don't just get this sort of chintzy stereo width. Now, what happens if you take 2 mono tracks and you pan them right and left, you're literally, if they're the same track, you're literally just increasing volume. That's all you're doing. And if they're not in phase with one another, then you're also going to be increasing phase cancellation, which is going to sound kind of like what some of this did. And I also feel like maybe some of this guitar work that sounded as if it was actually having phase issues wasn't because you said you drown it in flange and chorus. These are time-based effects, which actually can help to because basically that's what they're doing. They are putting things in and out of time on different intervals, which is causing phase issues. So not saying that it sounds bad, definitely just needs a little bit of work to take it to that next level. If another thing that I would probably do as well is to drive it just a little bit harder. And what I mean by that is like not any one guitar in particular, but the mix as a whole needs to sound a little bit more edgy, a little bit more driven. And you can just do that with a cheap saturation plugin, a free one for that matter. Now, the other thing that I would like to say about that is everything sounded just a little bit hollow. And I think that was just due to the fact that these were mono tracks that were panned in odd positions, being the same track. And then also the other thing about that is with flange and chorus, you have to be very, very careful not to overdo it, especially when it comes to mixing. In a live setting, it sounds completely different. In a live setting, it sounds perfect. But whenever you get into a mixing setting, well, now you're introducing a different sort of beast. And so you have to be careful that whatever you're doing to it is not hindering it rather than helping it. So that's some quick tips that I would give on that. The bass actually sounded really good. I feel like it could have been a little bit more present, especially with this type of a song. The bass and drums really got to help drive it. And it sounded good, but it just needed to be more upfront and present, I believe. So that's my honest critique and feedback on that. Let's go to Tim Consley's, Bob Consley's. It's hard whenever you got 2 Consleys to remember which one is which. To his song, The Beginning of Wisdom. This song is based upon the chapters 1 and 2 of the Wisdom of Ben Sira, or simply Sirach, and it, as more commonly known, Sirach is a wisdom book included in the scripture canon of the Catholic Church. The first book of the chapter speaks about the wisdom which is the fear of the Lord. The second chapter advises the reader to always trust in God and be steadfast in faith. You'll hear both of these themes together throughout the song's lyrics. The song is built around a simple piano accompaniment with a healthy dose of electric guitar, bass, and drums. I hope you enjoy it. Awesome. It actually reminds me of, I believe it's Proverbs 7 and 10, maybe. It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Maybe it's 9 and 10. Now it's going to drive me nuts until I figure that out. While I'm trying to figure that out, though, I'm going to go ahead and hit play on this bad boy so we can listen to the song. Kind of sounds like Revelation song. Good deal. So, as has already been stated here in the chat, there was some balance issues as far as being able to hear certain elements of the mix. And a lot of that I feel like was probably due in part just to getting a good rough mix whenever you first started out the mixing process. A lot of times, if you don't start out with a good rough mix, it's going to be hard for you to get things to balance the rest of the way through. And so that's why I developed my 15-step mixing process to remind myself to go through that every single time, make sure that I was doing the right thing. And that was Proverbs 9 and 10, by the way. And it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. I knew it had some kind of a 10 in there. So yeah, I definitely like the lyrics. I love the vocals. This time around, it seemed as if in previous song submissions that you've done, Bob, your vocals always sound good. Don't get me wrong. But it sounded like as if sometimes that you're straining to get to notes, whereas this one here really sounded like it fit your style a lot better. It almost had sort of a Beach Boys type vibe to it. Your voice did. Honestly, it worked well for the song. That's why I would have loved to have heard more of that up front. Now, with that being said, one thing that I would definitely do for this is to just balance out those faders a little bit better at the pre. the pre-phase here, the pre-mixing phase. The other thing is that I would definitely do a little bit more EQing on some of those elements to get them to fit into their own respective spaces, as I feel like a lot of this was sort of just meshed together, as has already been kind of stated. However, with that being said, just a few more tweaks, and I really feel like that this song could really be right up there where it needs to be. So not too much really feedback-wise to give you. I love the bass, by the way. The bass sounded good, and it sounded like it matched the song very well too. We're also going to go ahead and we have a last-minute submission here from Mob the Gamer. We're going to go ahead and throw this into the mix. No pun intended. We'll put it down here at the bottom. There we go. Make sure that we get his song heard. The next one is by Nick Evans, and this is called Gonna Blow Your Mind. Social Scientist, good to have you, buddy. We got a first timer in the chat today. DJ Big Red 81 is a winner of the last contest we just had. So go ahead and send me an email at homestudiosimplified@gmail.com. We'll get taken care of. So Produce Like a Pro has just entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. So good to see our good friends over from Produce Like a Pro, Warren Hewitt, which I'm assuming this is Warren because he's like that. He's cool like that. He actually engages with people personally, unlike some other channels. So that's awesome. I'm good, man. Thank you so much. And Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. God bless each and every one of you. So with that being said, let's see what Nick had to write about his particular song here. He says it's by The Beatnik and recorded on Cakewalk by BandLab. Hey, you get 2 thumbs up for that one, buddy. So good to see people using this DAW. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's free. He says, yes, it's me. It's me. Good to have you here, Warren. God bless you, my friend. I love his guts. I love your guts. That's what we say around these parts. All right, so let's go ahead and take a listen to It's Gonna Blow Your Mind, and then I'll give you my professional feedback on that.
On this you wonder, like a crack in the heaven. And in a while you say what you saw. That's all the information. It's like a black and white movie. And then you can believe your eyes, turn into the burning skies. It's only then that you realize now. I get my cold and I pass God, 'cause you're feeling so alive, it's gonna blow your mind. You won't believe us, they fool and deceive us. Then you can believe your eyes, so keep them on the burning skies. It's only then that you realize. I get my coat and I pass on, and I'm feeling so alive, it's gonna blow your mind. skies. It's only then that you realize I get my coat on a fast car, 'cause you're feeling so alive. I get my coat on a fast car, and we're feeling so alive. It's gonna blow your mind.
Andre, good to have you, man. He says, I'm here, but who cares? Warren is here. You know what? We're going to give you a crowd cheer nonetheless. Everyone is important around here. Okay, so this song has a lot of potential. It really does. And I was trying to listen past the EQ issues that I was hearing to actually hear the width and the breadth of the song itself. Like I said, it has a lot of potential. And actually, it's funny that you just brought that up, Andre, because it does have a lot, sort of this John Lennon feel to it. Obviously, the EQ issue is a big deal. And what I think that probably equates to is the fact that either your listening environment wasn't correct, you were listening or mixing on headphones maybe that weren't up to par, or maybe it could just be a simple issue of the reference tracks that you're using might have been not the right reference tracks, or probably more than likely you're not using reference tracks at all. So right out of the gate, my big tips for this is to use reference tracks, go back and listen to this and try to get them to match up to what that reference track sounds like. This will help you if you have a room that's not well treated, or if you have, something that you're dealing with the headphones. This will give you a better representation of what that mix should sound like as you compare that next to industry standard mixes. Reference mixes are going to save the day 9 times out of 10. Now, if it's something that maybe it's your headphones themselves or something like that, or it might even be your ears. I mean, not everyone's ears are perfect. Some people have hearing damage and things like that. Yet again, these reference tracks are going to help you along the way. Now, in retrospect, looking at the song itself, honestly, the song itself has a lot of potential. Like I said, I feel like it could definitely be something that I would hear on the radio. And I just think if the EQ issues were fixed, and a lot of those balancing issues of the instrumentation was fixed, the vocal sounded excellent. So you just really need to bring everything up around them vocals now, and you'll have you a good production here on your hands, because everything else, like I said, sounded really good. So that's my honest feedback on this. I know it's not super in-depth, but if you're interested in getting an in-depth, like a video feedback with these, I do offer those as well here on the channel. And you can hit me up and we can work out a good price for that. But yeah, like I said, a lot of this is subjective. So if that's the sound maybe you're going for, don't let me stop you. Maybe that's going to be the next wave. However, there were a lot of people here in the chat, myself included, that I just feel like that the EQ just kind of detracted from what could have been a really great song. Now, with that being said as well, don't stop. We all made mistakes like that when we were first starting, myself included. And you have to learn at some point in time, you have to learn what is a good sound. And that's where those reference tracks come in again. But finding yourself a great online mentor, see what I did there? Finding yourself a great online mentor can definitely help as well. Someone who actually takes the time to stop and show you these things, takes you by the hand and says, hey, not to be rude, but let's improve upon this. That definitely helps as well. So great job. Keep submitting those songs. Keep putting in the work. Keep just keeping on, because that's how you get better. You gotta just keep doing the work. So next up we have 𝗧𝗵𝘅 with the song Invalid. This is what he wrote about that. He says, the artist name is 𝗧𝗵𝘅. It is a track off of the soon to be released EP 𝗏𝗏. Check me out on, and then he included a link here for me. I will go ahead and post that in the chat here momentarily, if it'll let me. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so here is the link for him before we even listen. Then I'll get back into what he said about that. He says, I'm very amateur at production, but I get a little bit better every single time the more I watch content like yours on YouTube. Well, thank you so much. I take a lot of notes, and music is really a passion project for me. With this latest effort, sorry, I'm having a hard time reading this, I used Cakewalk, and it turns out that I really enjoy that DAW. Awesome. I used GarageBand, Pro Tools, Audacity, MPC Beats in the past, and I used a couple different interfaces to capture stuff. The tone port UX2, the PreSonus USB, the mic used for vocals was an AKG P120 with phantom power. Good deal. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. So whenever you have individuals like this who are putting themselves out there and they are releasing music, even though they don't feel like, you know, that they're good enough, release it anyway. That's what's going to help you get past that hurdle, get past that, you know, I don't feel good enough stuff. Okay. Looks like 𝗏𝗄𝗅's in the chat too. Good. Just in time, buddy. Good to have you on here. So let's go ahead and listen to 𝗏𝗅's song. This is Audio Mirage Studios Invalid. I like that name, by the way. That's cool. Ooh, I'm going to turn this one down a little. All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to have to go back and turn this one down a little bit. This is the issue that we run into sometimes with some people's songs are closer to a mastering standard, or they're at least hotter than others. So we'll make sure I don't blow anybody's eardrums out. Here we go. That's better.
Something different.
Wow. That was all up in my ear holes. Oh, wow. Man, that was, yeah, there was so much Nirvana, Soundgarden, Korn, like 90s grunge all over that, man. I love that. That's the kind of stuff I grew up with. So definitely had a lot of potential. There are definitely some EQ issues that I heard that I probably would address right out of the gate. There was a lot of high end, and with this kind of music, you want it actually darker, on the darker side of things. So with that being said, I think a lot of that was due, in fact, to what sounded like, at least to my ears, it sounded like a little bit more, I don't know if it was like an ozone or some kind of a stereo widening on the master bus. Sounded like that was being utilized maybe a little bit too much, or maybe even some stereo widening on the guitar bus or something like that, because it just didn't sound like they were quite there where they needed to be. With these here also, it tends to have this issue where whenever you have heavily distorted guitars, it's hard to actually get them to be intelligible in the mix because there's so much information being delivered by an overly saturated guitar. When you oversaturate things, you have all of these fundamental frequencies that are being added into the signal that then combats with everything else in the mix. And so the best way that you can do that is to find out what needs to be the star of the show, and then to accentuate whatever it is that is the star of the show, and allow other things to sort of fall prey to that, so to speak. So with that being said, man, lots of potential here. So dude, keep up the good work. If this is stuff that you're releasing right now and you're new at this, I hate to see, well, I shouldn't say I hate to see, but for those that are making this kind of music, I hate to see what it's going to be like whenever you start releasing stuff that you feel proud of, because man, you're going to be blowing them out of the water. So yeah, that's a good point too, Luke. It had a Foo Fighters sound to it as well. So great job, man. Great job. Definitely could see that one on some indie rock stations as well. So, all right. Next up, we have Shadow of an Object on the Moon by Midnight Blue Movies. Let's see what he wrote about this. Oh, thank you so much for submitting the song. I appreciate you taking the time to do that and for putting yourself out there. So thank you so much for submitting the song. That's what helps to keep these song contests going, is individuals that are willing to put themselves out there. So I wrote this track in Cakewalk after about 5 months of using any DAW I hear now, many imperfections, but I thought I managed to capture an interesting feel. This is, to me, more important than the technical correctness. Imagine that you are stood on the moon walking at an object that's casting a shadow. How would you be feeling about that? What does that even mean? I don't know. Make your own truth. I like that. That's cool. All right, well, let's check that out. Let's see what walking on the surface of the moon towards an object that's casting a shadow sounds like. So. I like the intro already. That's already got me. Very cool. Very, very nice. It's very clear. It still is just a little bit too fizzy for my ears, particularly. And what I mean by that is like there's just some high-end fizziness. I don't even know what is fizziness? I don't know. But with that being said, it could just be, the listening environment. I trust my headphones very much. So I release mixes on these headphones all the time. So I feel like it is just a little bit too much high end on that. But honestly, that's one of those things that's subjective as well. A lot of people in the chat liked it. So if people like it, that's really all that matters. And as Warren says all the time, if it sounds good, it is good. So with that being said, some things that I might improve upon that is that sounded like it needed some vocals to me. That sounded like that could have been a full-blown song. And then the other thing was I liked the variations that was in there, but I feel like it could have used more variation given the fact that this was a instrumental track. Now, with it being an instrumental track, you have to bear in mind that there are times when you have to sound repetitive, but there's ways that you can do that without implying that repetitiveness. You can actually, use automation, which I heard some automation in here. Kudos to you for that. And then there's also some cool things. Like I love what you did right here. This was super cool. Like I was waiting for a big build and then like a big cymbal crash or something like that. Some kind of a cool like drop or something. But the thing that I liked here was you actually dropped out, which was not what I was expecting. So that's one of those things where it's like one of those, like, I love it when you can like set the listener on their heels and do something they're completely not expecting. So let's listen to this portion right here again, because this is sort of a teaching lesson. And this is what I said earlier about Mark George. This is what he's sort of a master at, is doing these kind of things. So check this out. Let me go back a little bit. Right here, you're waiting for this. It's building up. Here it comes. It wasn't like full blown, like you were expecting. It was one of those like, oh, well, there was a build, but it actually dropped out more. So that was kind of cool. I liked that. And then of course, the leading into that portion, there was this drop off as well. And then I liked this here. I believe it's right here. Yeah, very, very Floydish, Pink Floydish right here. But check this out. So yet again, it's got this build. It's got these harmonizing guitars coming back and forth at each other. And then all of a sudden, instead of it going into like another big crescendo, it just drops. I love this. Check it out. Yeah, that was very Floydish. Maybe that's why it was called Shadow of an Object on the Moon, because that shadow would have casted the dark side of wait a minute. Okay. Great work, man. Great work. Barry Fitzgerald has a song he's got on Christmas days. Oh, cool. So this one is theme based. I like that. So this one is, I'm sure there are plenty of us out there who have tried to write a Christmas song, and I'm no different. And seeing as this is the December Song Contest, well, I just had to. All right, well, let's take a listen.
There's one peaceful morning when all the world is still, a time of understanding and goodwill. We lift our heads and do our best to find a better way to love the whole wide world on Christmas Day.
I like it.
The one day people care about the way they live their lives. If only they could show the world the way they feel inside. Christmas Day canteen, Christmas time.
I like that.
We see the world through softer eyes. We hear the children pray. Let's try and love the whole wide world on this our Christmas day.
There's some strings coming in there. Nice.
Close our eyes and pray our hearts will always find a way to love the whole wide world on Christmas Day. The one day people care about the way they live their lives. If only they could show the the way they feel inside. There's one peaceful morning when all the world is still, a time of understanding and goodwill. So love the whole wide world on Christmas Day.
Very good work as usual. Great work. There were some things that kind of threw off the song for me, and that was that the strings were very left heavy. Had I been listening to this in the car, I probably would not even picked up on that. I've been listening to it anywhere else, I probably would not have picked up on that. But because I had headphones on, it just felt a little odd to me that they were only on the left side. I feel like they could have been blended into the right, even just a tad bit more would have made it sound not so strange. But the lyrics, the song itself, yet again, and the voice, man, you've got such an awesome voice. I believe it was Mob the Gamer who said that raspiness in your voice is very calming, and it is. It was awesome. So good job, man. Not too much I can say about it other than that. We're going to go on now to Mark George's song. And I'm assuming this is the one that, hey, Merry Christmas, guys. a lot of Christmas wishes in the chat. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I rhymed. I'm a poet and just don't know it. So the next one we're going to listen to is Mark George's. Let's see what he has to say about it. He says, now this, he's got it labeled here as Xmas. Let me make sure I got the right one, just to be sure. Yep, I do. So he's got it labeled here as Xmas, but the actual title is called Around the World in a Sleigh. He says, let me start by wishing everyone a Merry Christmas. This is my go at a silly Christmas song, all done on Cakewalk as usual and processed with free analog obsession plugins. I had a few ideas for the title, which include Look Out, Here Comes the Fat Lad, or Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's an old bloke with bells. A lot oh, you're nuttier than squirrel poop. A lot of the sounds come from the Nexus 2 and a few others from free VST synths. So excited to hear this one. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. A fat old bloke with bells. That's great. All right, let's take a listen. Nice. Excellent work as usual, Mark. I know you were saying there were some imbalances on your side. The bass sounded as if it was on the right-hand side of the speaker. I actually didn't hear that. On my end, it sounded really pretty good. I just don't think it was loud enough, but that was just, you know, that was just a mastering thing, I think. Just needed to be mastered up to speed. But honestly, I could see this being on a Christmas CD, or like people have already said in the chat, Christmas movie. It's great. It's great. If there were some things that I would have changed, the bells could have probably been toned down just a bit. And then I probably would have just, I mean, if you're going to go all out and do this, I think I would have added in some more sound effects, some sleigh bells in the background, some, the sounds of reindeers, maybe some, you know, wind flying by. I don't know, but yeah, great work, man. Liked it. Next is Spirit, Rise with Chris. Let's see what he had to say about this one. He says, this is recorded using Pro Tools 10 with an 003 rack and various virtual instruments. I wanted to record a song that would be positive and uplifting to people, and this is what came through. I feel that music sings as much as the vocals in the track, so which is why much of it is instrumental. Awesome. Okay. I can actually relate to that. I know what you're talking about. So let's give this a listen.
To see is to hear. There is no fear, I can see clear. I walk on by right into the night, and my light does carry me through. I'm not alone, I'm but a tone of the one great cosmic symphony. And now it's time, I'm gonna shine so bright, 'cause the spirit never dies.
Good balance there.
Whatever it takes, I'm gonna feel the pain that never touches what is real. I will walk the straight and narrow way that leads me to life and a brand new day. And I'm feeling the light, and it's burning so bright that the sea of darkness can't remain. I know that it's time, I'm gonna shine so bright, 'cause the spirit never dies. Shine so bright, 'cause the spirit never dies.
I'm hearing some choir coming in right here. That'd be nice. Nice little drop there. There's the choir I was talking about. Very, very nice. Man, there's some things that I feel like if it just, as far as the instruments blending, I think a little bit of balance on those instruments would have been huge to help this out like crazy. Thank you so much, Quizboy, for donating through the super chat feature. Actually should have triggered the light over here. Oh, there it goes. It came on late. Thank you so much for lighting the room up like a disco ball. But yeah, as far as the balance on that thing, I think if we would have just had a little bit of more separation in the instrumentation, really could have sold that a lot better. I love the fact that when the strings came in too, they weren't like overpowering. They just sort of like faded in, they faded out. It's amazing. I love the drops. You put the drops in there just the right places. I feel like, although some of them were kind of cliche and expected, with this kind of music, I felt like it needed to be that way. So I love the fact too that the ending just sort of, that ending just sold it for me, because just the way that it just faded out there, it was like there was no resolution. I kind of liked that. It helped me to, I think, get my mindset on the fact that this is, oh my goodness, this is blinding me. I got to turn this off. There we go. Oh, that's why it didn't work. Okay. But at any rate, yeah, great work. I would have liked to have heard the vocals a little bit more up front and present as well. So with that being said, few improvements. I think that's going to really take it to the next level. Good job. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Next up is Fallen for You. No, that's... No, sorry. Next up is It Shows. This is a Christmas song. Yeah, a Christmas song about a girl who can't hide a smile if she wanted to. Awesome. Okay. Okay, yeah. I love the song, love the vibe. Yet again, it's been already blasted in the chat a million different times now. We all were like longing to hear that vocal more up front. So honestly, you get that underway, and I think you're going to have yourself a hit right here. A little bit of vocal mixing as well, just to get it to sound more upfront and present, not just in the mix as far as loudness, but also just to make it sound more polished and professional. That's going to help it tremendously. One of the things that I noticed right off the bat is I thought, well, man, this sounds like it's been crushed. And this is why. Whenever you send a song in, I don't mind if you send in an MP3, but try to send it in an MP3 like with the highest setting, like 320, 192, no lower than 192, honestly, because you're going to experience a lot of artifacts. And that might have actually been why this song sounded the way that it did, because as you can see, at 64 kbps, you're not going to actually get a lot of audio fidelity out of that. In fact, it's going to introduce a lot of audio artifacts. That's why I feel like this song was probably, it didn't have as good of a shot as it could have because of that. But with that being said, great song, great song. Okay, so now we have a song by our very own Minister of Badness, Mob the Gamer. And this is a song that he submitted not too long ago called Side to Side. It's already actually been released. It's on the on the market, so to speak. Mob, if you'd like to post a link to check that song out, you're more than welcome to. And this is a remix, actually. So this is kind of cool. This is a remix done by the South Korean artist Molak. Molaj. I don't know. It's an EDM style. Let's check it out, though. Yeah, let's solo the track and then check it out. My apologies for everyone whose ears were just blown out. Greatly apologize for that. Hey, that's a good point there, 𝗏𝗧𝗧. Maybe I might do that. Maybe the addition of plugin like Growlon, but together several box tracks. Awesome. Okay. The power is back. Good to have you. First timer. Good to have you here. All right, let's check out Minister of Badnesses. I don't even know if I said that right. Side to Side remix.
The music, dance into it, let and through it, the rhythm of beat. If it's soothing, change that tuning, keep it moving, friction and heat. The music, dance into it, let and through it, the rhythm of beat. If it's soothing, change that tuning, keep it moving, friction and heat.
Nice. Very good. Very good. always good to hear remixes. Yet again, because this is another individual's take on that song, I'm not going to give too much of a critique on that because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to degrade anyone else's work or anything like that. Really, there's not too much bad I would have to say about it anyway. Even constructive criticism for that matter. But yeah, I love to hear remixes. I've never been able to actually pull off a remix. That might be something I need to work on as a producer to try and do more of. But yeah, that was definitely very cool. So good job on that. The Power is back. Said he or she is going to have to submit a song next time. Do it. Just do it. A lot of fun to have you do on that. So before we go, this has been an excellent stream, by the way. And as most of you know, it's hard for me to pick a winner just right out of the gate. So keep an eye on the channel, keep an eye on the community tab of the channel, as well as the YouTube or the Facebook page rather. Make sure you keep an eye on that because I'll be posting the winner there shortly. But before we even get to that, there's one thing we have to do before we leave from the stream today. And no, this is not Cubase. This is actually Cakewalk by BandLab. This is a completely free, full-fledged, full-power DAW that's free. I have tons of tutorials here on the channel to help get you up and going, as well as a Cakewalk by BandLab tutorial course that's sponsored by the Pro Mix Academy. So if you're interested in learning what this DAW is capable of, definitely want to hang around the channel for that. But before we go from today's live stream, thank you guys so much for being here today. You guys are awesome as usual. You know what's coming. Everybody's beating me to the punch here. Spin the wheel, spin the wheel. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Wheel of Awesomeness. That's right. I'm going to spin the wheel. Whatever the wheel lands on, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. Crowd cheer for the Argentinas in the house. Awesome. Let's spin this wheel and see what it lands on. Song feature. All right. So by way of the chat, what I'm going to do here is, so we got a song feature. I can't speak right now. With that song feature, the way that you're going to be able to get a song featured here on the channel, other than just the monthly song contest, if you want another song of yours featured here on the channel where we'll actually feature it during another live stream another time, go ahead and put this into the chat as of now. So if you would like a song feature, go ahead and type into the chat. Where's it at? !freebie. That's going to get you into the drawing to have a song featured here on the channel the next time around. Awesome. As you can see, we have some gifts laid about the room over here. Look, this area right here is just covered in gifts because we can't fit them under the tree due to the fact that we have a dog now and we have to block off the bottom of the tree. So now we got them all here in the studio. This looks like Santa's bat cave or something. So, good deal. All right, we got plenty of people entering in to get their song featured. That's always good. There's 2 minutes left on that. So once again, thank you all so much for stopping by the channel today. I greatly appreciate everyone who stops by, who shows some support and some love for one another. If you're interested in the monthly song contest, there is a link in the description of the video where you can go and check that out. It's under monthly song contest, so you can't miss that. Also on the main page of the YouTube channel, you can also see the monthly song contest entering in there. Mom the Gamer, you're the first one to point it out. Says he likes the new haircut. All right, guys, check this out. It's gone. It's gone. All the hair is officially gone. And no, this was not because I reached a milestone and decided to shave my head. I was actually in the bathroom and was trimming up my hair. And I thought, you know what? it's time for a reset. And as soon as I walked out of the bathroom, my wife said, "What have you done? There are people that would die to have hair, and you shaved yours off." So yeah, that's what happens around the McClellan household whenever you get Robert in the bathroom with a set of shavers, shears. I've done sheared myself like a sheep. But yeah, it definitely, yeah, it feels better. It's just weird though, because I get up in the morning and I'm like, hey, I don't have to fix my hair. What's going on here? I'm definitely going to let it grow back out though. I was ready for a reset, from all the times where I had like cut it and then had it professionally cut. And then I would come home and recut it whenever it came around for the professional cut, 'cause I'm a cheapskate. I was like, nah, I'm going to do it myself. And I for years I've been doing that. I'm not having any problem with it. My wife cuts it, looks fine. I cut it, kind of looks okay. But with that being said, this time around, I was like, you know what, forget it. So the next milestone, that's a good question. The next milestone is going to be 50,000 subscribers. I was actually going to make it 25, and we reached 25 so fast, I didn't even have time to prepare. So I'm going to try to make it 50. And at the 50,000 subscriber mark, we're going to have another huge giveaway, much like we did before. If you guys were here for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, we had a ton of stuff that we gave away, and it was awesome. We had a balloon pop giveaway. It was so much fun. You can go back and look at that on the live tab if you want to check that out. So, all right. So here's a winner for the song feature, 𝗬𝗎 Official. Good deal. So all you have to do is just simply email me at homestudio.simplified.com. If you've won anything on this stream, remind me that you've won a freebie, and I will definitely get that around there. And if you have just recently, 𝗬𝗎 Official has won a song featured, all you got to do is just simply email me with that song, and then we will get that featured on the next live stream. So awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Before we go, let's give a quick shout out to these individuals. These are individuals who have recently donated through the super chat, or they have subscribed. So thank you guys so much for all of your patronage, whether it's through monetary donations or just supporting this channel by subscribing. You guys rock. You're awesome. And I love each and every one of you. So until next time, remember, we can dream alone. We can even create alone. But together, we can achieve so much more. God bless each and every one of you. If you have requested prayer in the chat and I did not see that, make sure that you email me or send me a message through the Facebook Messenger. I'd love to know what your need is. I'd love to pray for you during this time and season right now. Especially, we need to share the love of God more so than we ever have before. So with that being said, I love you guys. Until next time, all,